Hellblade 2 is around the corner. I'm recording this video on April 23rd, so the game drops in like a month-ish. I personally wasn't grabbed much by the first game, and I probably won't be playing the sequel because my backlog runneth over right now, but hey, if you're excited for Hellblade 2, you're excited for Hellblade 2. More power to you. And it's nice to see Xbox actually releasing first-party games at a regular pace again. You know, only took you like 4 years of the Series X to find your footing, but whatever. I haven't bought a console in over a decade now, so I'm not gonna lose sleep over this. It's more games for me. I'm on the PC. It's not like I was playing all the PC games over here anyways. But with the first-party Microsoft game on the way, and the die-hard PlayStation fanboys likely feeling a bit underserved right about now, it shouldn't be surprising that the mere existence of Hellblade 2 has been causing a bit of a poop tornado. I would have cursed there, but I don't think 60 seconds have passed since the video started, and I don't want to lose my monetization. But also, now that I'm saying all that out loud, I'm going to challenge myself to not swear for this whole video, so place your bets now on whether or not I succeed. Now, I'm going to say what I said several times when we were covering all the Starfield salt last year, and that's this. There are plenty of things to criticize Hellblade 2 for. Like, plenty of actual things to criticize. For example, you could criticize the fact that it's capped at 30 FPS on both consoles, the Series S and the Series X. You could criticize the fact that the resolution is, not fantastic. Like, if you're a PlayStation diehard, there are plenty of easy slam dunks that you could be making right about now, and several of you are making those slam dunks, and those people will not be in the video, so congratulations, you did something slightly correct for once. But there is still a rather large number of PlayStation fanboys who are completely missing the point and going after Hellblade 2 basically just because it has an Xbox logo on it. I swear, it's Starfield all over again. It's Starfield all over again. I made like a dozen videos covering PlayStation fanboys just blindly dumping on Starfield. I almost swore right there. But I made like a dozen salt videos about people just dumping on Starfield instead of criticizing the many actual legitimate points of criticism leading up to release and after release. Like, there were so many things that the PlayStation dudes could have been holding over Starfield's head, but a lot of them were just choosing to criticize the fact that it was an Xbox game. And now we're doing the same routine with Hellblade 2, a game that we all know for an absolute fact that if it had a Sony logo on it instead of an Xbox logo, these same people would be all over it because it's the exact kind of game that sells gangbusters on the PlayStation. It's got the realistic visuals, it's got the cinematic presentation, it has the artsy, somewhat up its own ass theming. Like, this is the exact kind of game that you Sony guys praise every 8 to 12 months on the PlayStation, but this time, since it doesn't have a Sony logo on it, it's automatically the worst thing ever before it even comes out. Do you not believe me that people are doing this? Oh, dear viewer, strap yourself in. We're getting really stupid today. So a viewer sent me this post by @DanoOmen, who says the first big Xbox exclusive of the year releases in exactly 1 month. Can't wait for Hellblade 2. And the sheer amount of anger in the replies to this tweet, good lord. So get yourself some popcorn, unless you're allergic to popcorn. Don't eat the popcorn, Dad. Dad, put the popcorn down. Dad, you're allergic. Don't eat it. Stop. Spoofy responds, it's available on Steam equals not exclusive. And if we click on Spoofy's profile, surprise, surprise, this is what it looks like. Everyone pretend to be really surprised. Now, OP here was pretty obviously referring to Hellblade 2 as an Xbox exclusive, as evidenced by the wording Xbox exclusive, and given the fact that all Xbox exclusives are on the PC and have been for a long time, you're kind of telling on yourself if you interpreted this post as an attack on the concept of exclusivity, which seems to be what happened here in the response. But also, fun fact about your response, if the presence of a game on Steam means it's not an exclusive, like not even a console exclusive, congratulations, your precious PlayStation has almost no exclusives. Insert Megamind no exclusives meme. But don't worry, I wasn't the only one to notice this here, because Spoofy got a response that says it's a console exclusive, but if that's the case, these are exclusive. And he tweets a screenshot of all the Sony games on Steam. But then Spoofy responds, Xbox doesn't have exclusives, period. They're a publisher. They're only still barely a platform because that's how they started the generation. Bro, PlayStation is a publisher as well. Not too long ago, there was a big PlayStation Studios publisher sale on Steam, and next month, Ghost of Tsushima is launching on the PC, and you know who's publishing it? PlayStation Studios. And it's not like PlayStation's exclusivity strategy is doing them any favors anymore. That's why they're abandoning it. The VR gamer responds to this post. He says, same as Sony. But then Spoofy comes back and says, lol, let me know where you'll be playing Stellar Blade next week. Name all the hardware available. You're a gamer, name every game. You're comparing multi-year exclusive deals to day and date on PC. Lol, clown emoji, nice troll though, decent attempt. Okay, you know Helldivers 2 exists, right? Like, I like how the PlayStation dudes are just ignoring that Helldivers happened. You're getting on everyone's case because everyone's pointing out that PlayStation Studios is indeed a publisher, and your big zinger against that is that PlayStation games aren't day and date. But like, the biggest PlayStation game of the year so far was literally day and date on PC. And if you don't think day and date across the board for PlayStation is coming, then I really don't know what to tell you anymore. There's so much money to be picked up here, and Sony knows that. Also, you're contradicting yourself here, and you don't even notice it. You say up here that Xbox doesn't even have exclusives and that Xbox is a publisher, but then down here, you literally acknowledge the fact that PlayStation exclusives are, at best, multi-year exclusives on the PlayStation before they go to PC. And you know what happens when those games go to PC? They are published there. You see what I mean about how the die-hard PlayStation dudes are just focusing in on things that literally don't matter? If Hellblade 2 was multi-platform, like if it was on the PlayStation as well, you literally wouldn't have an argument. Your whole argument would disappear like that one Thomas Shadow Realm meme.
I'm banishing you to the Shadow Realm. No!
Like, I hate to break it to you, if your hatred for a game lives and dies off the fact that it's a console exclusive, you're just a goofball. And that goes for your love of a game as well. If your reasons for loving a game are dependent on who funded it and what box it's available on, you're not a gamer, you're a corporate stooge. Moving on. Have I cursed yet? Have I broken that rule? I don't think I have yet. Okay, let's keep going. At Alejandroid says digital only, $50, AA, 6 to 8 hours long, quote, big. Yes, wonderful points. Let's take a look at your profile, and yes, that is exactly what we were expecting here, isn't it? Everyone pretend to be surprised. I love this. You're getting all sniffy at OP because Hellblade 2 is a $50 AA game, but look at your profile picture. Do you know what else was a $50 AA game? Can you guess what game I'm referring to? Is it possible you're being a gigantic hypocrite? Also, I guess this is a hot take, except not really, but there's literally nothing wrong with games being 6 to 8 hours long. There's literally nothing wrong with that. Nor is there anything wrong with games being $50. Games should be $50. There's zero reason for new games to be as expensive as they are today. The fact that Microsoft is publishing a game at $50 and using that game as one of their big tentpole releases of the year is a good thing, and other publishers should be taking note of that because it's meeting the consumer halfway. But you're a Sony dude, so of course you think this is a bad thing for no other reason than the fact that Sony does things differently. You're not capable of understanding literally anything in this industry, so you just take what Sony says at face value and use that as the standard for everyone else. Sony says you need to pay $70 for your games, and you say, oh yes, Daddy Sony, take more of my money. Sony says games need to be 50 million hours long in order to be good, and you say, oh yes, Daddy Sony, short games are bad automatically. And you do all of this with a flippin' Helldivers 2 profile picture. Helldivers 2, a Sony-published AA game that launched for $50. Like, this line of criticism, all these criticisms that you're making right now, are almost entirely applicable to Helldivers 2. But that game didn't have an Xbox version, so it's okay. You absolute butthole surfer. I almost slipped up there. But you want to know something very interesting about Alejandroid here? Someone actually responded to him and caught him harder than I've ever seen anybody get caught before. Like, this wasn't just caught in 4K, this was caught in 8K. Like, actual 8K, not the 8K on the box of the PS5. Ooh. Because apparently back when Hellblade 1 was getting praise, Alejandroid responded to the developers and told them that their praise was well deserved. But then, after it was announced that Xbox was getting the sequel as a console exclusive, Alejandroid started proclaiming to the world that the original game was never any good. Isn't the world so interesting when you have absolutely no integrity at all? Hello, I'm interrupting this video to remind you that this channel is sponsored by 4D Gaming. If you would like a really nice mousepad, go to 4dgaming.com and use code Joe for a discount. This channel is also sponsored by Glitch Energy. It's basically G Fuel, but better, so go to Glitch Energy and use code Joe for a discount. Thank you for letting me interrupt your content. I'll let you keep watching it now. Pony Elite says, damn, we've been waiting all year for one 8-hour-long mental illness simulator. And then who is Pony Elite? Well, their bio says, always on PlayStation 5, playing the best games in existence, enlisted in the console wars against the bots. If stupid comes out of your mouth, expect a visit. Ugh, I feel like I've said this a million times, but people like this just are so cringe. Just like, el cringe. Because one of two things is happening here. You're either unironically like this, and this is all 100% genuine, which is flippin' pathetic, or you're 24/7 role-playing as the most insufferable person alive, which is arguably even more pathetic. But also, I have to point out the comedy of you throwing shade at Hellblade 2 for being a, quote, mental illness simulator, but again, this is your bio. Home Skillet. You don't need a mental illness simulator. I promise. Mr. He says that's not big, it's not even AAA. It doesn't mean the game is bad, but it's definitely not big. Right, because if we've learned anything about gaming in 2024, it's that a game can only be big if it's AAA. There's no way a non-AAA game could be big, especially not in the year 2024. Oh my god, do you people live under boxes of rocks? Japan Hates Xbox says 5 months into the year, better on PC, $50, not AAA, digital only, will play best on PS5 and PS5 Pro, X-boned into infinity. You're the second person to bring up that this game is coming out 5 months into the year, as if that has any bearing on its actual quality. I guess you could be trying to make a zinger out of the fact that OP said this was the first big Xbox exclusive, and I guess you could be saying with this, like, heh, the first big first-party Xbox game took 5 months to come out. But, like, does Sony have any first-party games coming out this year? You might want to take a look at your big old glass house here. Also, you bring up the PC version, but then also say the same game will be best on PS5 and PS5 Pro. First of all, if there's a PC version, no. Second of all, the PS5 version of this game is not confirmed. Third of all, the PS5 Pro is not confirmed. Like, we literally don't even know how the PS5 Pro is actually going to perform with games at this point. We know it's real because of the leaks. We have no idea how much of a gameplay performance enhancement it's actually going to be over the base version. We have not seen it in action. We have no actual benchmarks. And yet you're already claiming it's going to be the best version of this game. And then the same stupid points here about the game being $50 and not AAA, as if that is at all a negative thing for you, the consumer. And again, just a few months after Helldivers 2 outperformed basically everything Sony's been doing recently, while also being a $50 not AAA game. Holy schnitzel. Kaladin Sama says that's more on the lean side. I would call it the smallest exclusive to date. I really don't get the issue with this game being short compared to other big name releases. Like, I really don't. Earlier this year, I finished Postal Brain Damaged, one of the best single-player games I've played in a while, and according to Steam, it took me less than 8 hours to finish it. Have we all forgotten about Titanfall 2, a game that everyone agrees has a absolute banger of a single-player campaign? That game takes like 4, maybe 5 hours to finish if you're really bad at first-person shooters, or if you're doing a blind run on the higher difficulties, that'll take you maybe 5 hours. And you know what, now that I'm looking at my Steam profile, I'm just gonna call out some games that I've finished that I very much recommend and are less than 8 hours long. Devil May Cry 5, that game took me like 6 hours to finish the first time. Alien vs. Predator, the 2010 one, 3 different campaigns in that game, the whole thing took me less than 7 hours. I still recommend it. I think that game's really fun. Like, I'm just not getting on board with this idea that it's an inherently negative thing that the game has a single-digit hour runtime. Like, seriously, stop playing exclusively blockbuster cinematic action games. It's genuinely doing damage to your ability to assess quality. Again, Postal Brain Damaged, one of the best single-player games I've played in a long time, less than 8 hours, and I am actively recommending this game to everyone who has played video games. It is awesome. Buy it and play it, because who gives a shit if the game is shorter than other games? I thought we were in agreement that AAA games are generally too long nowadays anyways. Oh my god, I just swore, no! Oh my god! Oh, I was doing so well. Oh. God, there's so many things that you could be criticizing. There's so many things that you could criticize about Hellblade 2, and you're just skipping over those things and taking the dumbest angles possible. I don't understand. And then you wonder why I make fun of you guys. I could make fun of all the people who are like, oh, Hellblade 2's resolution and frame rate are fantastic because 30 FPS is more cinematic, and I sure do love my video games being more like things that aren't video games. I could have made fun of all those people, but then you people swooped in, and you're way funnier because you're way stupider. It's not my fault. Dad, it's not my fault, I swear. Dad, put the popcorn down. You're going to die. Okay, toodles.